Isabel, good morning. And Big Toe, good morning. We're at Leo's. Leo, January action steps. I'll give it about 1 minute and we'll see. Oh, Lord. Good morning, Spank. Some of the names. Aaron, welcome. All right. Where will we start with my Leos? Cypher, good morning. Yeah, let's start with the self-care. You know that's my favorite anyway. Give me something good for my Leos. Self-care to show up with a little more love, a little more accountability for the month of December. Something to check in with. Okay, you got 2. When your inner... Okay, this is not a small voice you hear. When your inner voice speaks, this is not a small voice you hear. No one else has an inner compass exactly like yours. These are affirmations. Good morning, Felix. The bud stands for all things, even those things that don't flower, for everything flowers from within. What is still budding inside of you? Where do you feel unlocked potential? This is a gift coming to you later down the road. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So you're just checking in as per usual, right? Listening to that inner voice. That's your intuition. Those are your little golden nudges. That's what the universe is trying to show you, how to get to your highest best path. And that's exactly what we're going for. We've been working hard. We got to stop, smell the flowers every once in a while, but listen to that voice. Follow those nudges. Solitude is where I place my chaos to rest and awaken my inner peace. In one hand you hold your wildness, in the other your quietness. Draw from each hand as needed. And it's about balance. Literally, that's what it's about. Finding that balance and the duality, right? Understanding that everybody has the capability to be the absolute worst monster in the world, but they also have the capability to be an absolute angel. And we're not saying go to either extreme, but when you find that balance and you understand exactly when you need to stand up for yourself, be strong, when you need to rest, relax, when you need to give compassion, when you need to stand accountable, hold others accountable. You need to find that balance, and learning how to follow that intuition when your voice is speaking to you is clearly the way to go. Welcome, Gizmo and Saint Laurent and Savage. Gizmo, that was my puppy dog's name when I was a kid. It was my favorite dog. Elise and Kevin, welcome. All right, for my Leos, tell me a story. What do we got? Leap. You go first and the universe will catch you. Never stop doing. When you're following your nudges, it's a lot easier to follow the path when you learn how to trust them. But to do that, you have to show up with yourself gently. I'm going to read this one because it's a really good one. And I think when you learn to follow those nudges and you listen to that inner voice, you understand where you need to take the leap, where you need to slow down, pay attention, learn, and listen, right? Welcome, Faith and Jack and Lori and La Funky. Welcome. Leap. And also, angel number 72 might have an extra message for you. All right. Oh, Anna, welcome. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap. Welcome, Gypsy. Good morning. And Leo, welcome. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you're being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you're waiting for a big fat sign or an instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission to slip to take the deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what was once so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was, but in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. You go first, take a good run, and leap. Those nudges, all those things you've been telling, and I know this is personal for me too. I'm a Leo, and I know very well. Welcome, Dawson and Jessica and Sacred Rose. I love that name. I understand it very well. When you're listening to your nudges, you really need to trust those signs, those intuitive hits, all those things that say, just do it, right? It doesn't mean you have to quit your job and just dive right into it, but start making steps towards it. So, like me, showing up, doing these. I have my whole business. I had to spend my morning because otherwise my brain wouldn't allow me the freedom to do this if I hadn't done on my financials first. Do what you need to do, but as you're making steps, this is something that I love to do. I'm creating the content constantly all month. That's my joy. I love to give that back because when it's used properly and put to good use, really it can help people be more self-aware, more loving to themselves, and less on the high expectation, less trying to punish yourself or setting yourself up for failure. And we don't want that anymore. Thanks for the follow, Anna. I appreciate that. Monica and Charles, welcome. SL. We have to learn taking that leap matters, okay? When I decided to open the website and create all the stuff that I was creating, I wasn't sure where I was going with it. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do with it, but I didn't know where it was going to go, how far it was going to come, if people were even going to be interested in it. So, I mean, as we learn, we grow, right? But I had to start with what brought me joy. And as I'm changing it and adding content and adding my products and the things that bring me joy to create, I also have to understand that those other ones that I'm building, oh, they're coming. I remember, I like this one. They're coming. I'm building them, and I know I can't do everything just be done, right? But following those little nudges, right? Listening when that voice speaks, take that step. Do that little bit of extra work. Do that something that says, yes, I want this. Okay, the universe, help me get there. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to start trusting. When I see those signs, those angel numbers, those those songs in that play and just give you that sentence, I go, oh, I was just thinking about that. How did that happen? They're saying, yes, do it. Go for it. Take the chance. Show up for yourself. And then we have I Remember. I'm going to read this one too because if I can get the book. Is it this one? Yes. I remember. Also, when I tell you angel numbers, if it shows up and I'm looking for the page, if I say the page number, if you do the research and you go look it up, just Google it, or even on here, type in the angel number, there's always going to be another message, and almost every single time it's going to align with that little question, that little wondering, that little thing that's, been kind of nagging at you, but you didn't really know how to answer it. There's going to be something there that gives you that spark, I promise. It's the way it works. It's called guided. It's guidance, even when you're not sure. Welcome, Jit. And Laura, welcome. I remember, what number is that? Angel number 76. So the first one was 72 and 76. Don't forget that. I remember. Come on, we can do it. There was a moment before you were born when you chose the conditions of the life you're living right now. When you plotted out these exact moments along the timeline of your life. We live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. If you pull this It's because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny of life over fated life, to trust the path your soul is calling you toward, and to remember that this moment was prearranged on your life's timeline. You may find yourself at a crossroads, at a moment where you're being called to make a decision, to keep walking the perfectly laid out path before you choose the one less traveled. You may be facing a change of career, a new relationship, a difficult decision, or something else that requires courage and faith. You're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and to surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt to rear its head. In fact, this is a certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater plan. Every hero in his or her life journey comes eye to eye with doubt. The only way around is through it. It's all part of the larger plan. What are you being called to do to surrender to your soul's plan? It's literally just following those nudges. And I know I have been actively doing it for a long time. Sometimes I made detours. Sometimes I had struggles. Sometimes there was all kinds of things to hinder, hurt, stop. Intentional or not intentional, it doesn't matter. All of it was to learn, to grow, to test your commitment, to let you see just how much the universe, just how much God will show up for you. Because when you're doing the right things and you're showing up with integrity and your intention is pure, the way things will fall into place for you, even if you try to describe it sometimes, it's almost impossible to describe. Because it's like there's this one big thing that's going to stop you. This one thing that seems like almost impossible to do. And then out of nowhere, you're going to blink. And it's like that puzzle piece sat in there and it clicked. Everything's just done. And it's like in less than 24 hours, in less than an hour. Like it's just the way things will happen when you learn to follow those nudges. Even when you're unclear, if you keep following those nudges, I promise you, and it'll be right at the right time. It's not going to be when you want it. It's going to be right at the exact time that you need it. Be aware or you will have to beware. Do not deny the risk or hazards that you see. Now, what this is saying to you is understand the difference. In one hand, you hold your wildness, in your other, your peace. There's going to be times where you're going to have to look at the risk. You're going to have to check and understand, and you're going to have to say, which one am I going to decide? Finding the balance between both. It's not about taking and putting your life at risk. It's about showing up and saying that even when things don't go perfectly well, it doesn't mean it's a failure. It means there's something you needed to learn along the way, which is completely okay. But when you take it as such, then you allow yourself the space to grow and to trust yourself. Jentastic, Cree, Katrina, M. Taylor, Star, welcome. Wayne Carter, welcome. Oh, the Moonology. I almost forgot my little Moonologies. All right, I need one for my Leos, please. Tim, welcome. Number one, Grandma. I love it. Welcome. User 1727, welcome. Nanu, welcome. Just give me one. The moon phases, we live by those. That's how we change. Your dreams need a practical plan. That is. So look, that nudge that you're talking about, okay? That nudge that we're listening to, we need to understand to find the balance, right? So we can't be all up in our head. Okay, we need to understand when we need to dig deep and pull harder. When you dig deep and you're really trying to grind in, that's when you're creating the practical plan. You're going to have to test your commitment. Hold on. I got to make sure I don't mix my decks up or I'll be here all day. To make that practical plan, to make it happen, you need to understand that there's going to be times where you have to dig deep and you have to pull from survival mode and you have to pull from that shadow part of you. Not doing evil, mean things, but that anger, that rage, all those anxiety, all those things that you've had dealing with growing up. Taking that, learning how to use that as a gas, right? As something to propel you up that mountain is exactly what it takes, right? And then there's other times where you need to be calm and you need to say, I've done every step that I've learned that I could possibly do. I've done that. Now I leave it to you. And that's when things start to click. Okay, but you need to understand, when you learn to understand what that balance is, when do I need to pull from this? When do I not? When you understand that and you can start following that, because it becomes easier with practice, then you don't question it. You don't worry. You don't have to sit with it. You're going to take it in. You're going to assess. Do I know how to fix this problem? No. What steps can I take to get there? Okay, I need this, this, this. What comes after? I don't know. But I know this, this, this. So I'm going to actively work on this, this, this that I know. And I'm going to trust that the universe is sending me everything that I need to know after. And it will be one step at a time. You're not going to get all 10 next steps. You're going to get one step. And then you're going to do it. And you're going to keep doing that. And you're going to search for the next step. Okay, and then you're going to ask for it. And the universe will send it to you. It comes very quickly when you learn to follow those nudges. But you have to find that balance, because you can't be in lack. If you're chasing it, it's going to run from you. But if you sit with it and you know that you've done everything that you can do, you sit back and wait. I trust. I understand. You follow the nudges. You listen. You say, universe, you speak your greatness into the universe. First of all, I know I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I'm headed in the right direction. Please help me along my path. Show me what I need to learn, how I can benefit myself. Speak your greatness. I am amazing. I am progress. I'm doing everything I can possibly do every day. I am actively learning. I'm loving myself. I'm being kind to myself and others. Internal explorer. Check in. Check in with yourself. Understand. Welcome, user 238, Kingston and Clara and Aaron. Welcome. And angel number 32. So we got 72, 76, and 32. Holy hell. 32. All right. When we stop looking outside ourselves and surrender to a soft inner focus. By the way, look at the art on these cards. They're just fantastic. Izzy Ivy is the author of these cards. They're phenomenal. Welcome, Clara and Juicy Dumplings, Cilantrono, and your daddy. Welcome. All right. Surrender to a soft inner focus. We have access to unlimited information and resources. When we stop thinking with the glass ceiling of our intellect, we have access to multidimensional wisdom from the collective consciousness. Have you ever felt in total flow? Perhaps when speaking about something profound that you have total faith in? Have you heard your words articulately unfold? At other times, when you have doubt, you must watch your words, and they come out disjointed, only hinting at what you are trying to say. In my journey as an artist, I found I was able to paint more skillfully when I imagined, when I stopped thinking or tightly controlling my images into being. This was especially so when I was starting out. By getting out of my own way, I could get into a flow that felt like something else was guiding my paintbrush. This is known as a flow state and is said to be the optimal state for higher function. Oh, somebody filtered something. Welcome. Remember, we're being respectful to everybody. Elephant and Steve, welcome. When in a deep flow state, it can seem as if something else is guiding me. Perhaps it is my higher self. People often ask whether I have a strong concept of what I will paint before I start. I do have a half-formed idea, but the state I find myself in when I paint allows the rest of the image to form itself. Oh, Vars, how could I have ever guessed? Welcome. I hope you're having a great day. I don't try to control it too much. When I allow myself to really go there and listen to the whispers that guide the journey, it gives more soul to my pieces. There are the creations that these are the creations most people resonate with, the ones that prompt a mysterious sense of remembering. I am dyslexic and I do not think of myself as an author, so the prospect of writing the text for this guidebook could have been quite overwhelming. But I was guided to drop it into the vibration of the card and trust that the words would flow. I reached a deeper part of myself where I somehow had access to information that was far more vast than my mind could intellectualize, the same place my visual artwork comes from. You may read quotes about being far more amazing than you realize. This is an infinite part of us that is God, or whatever you wish to call it, and when we attune to our divine state, we really can do anything we apply ourselves to. Everything is there within you, waiting for expression. You are invited to explore the state of flow. This card is a reminder that you are infinitely amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process or get out of your own way. You have the permission you felt you needed, so go within and explore. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you. Those are those nudges. That's the exact nudges. That's that little inner voice, that whisper, those things. That's what it's telling you to do. You have the opportunity and the ability to explore deeply. I'm going to kill my neighbors. I'm just kidding. We're not going to kill them, but I'm going to have to go message. Where's the other one? Right here. Where's your friend Rowan? Are they here? Why do people do that? Happy birthday. The eye candy 0550. When you see it, keep your eye out for that. Understand what's going on. Intuition, creativity, aesthetics, expression, networking, harmony, potential, romance. Take a break to enjoy the fresh air or gather with friends for a delightful time. Appreciate the natural beauty around you waiting to be discovered. You may soon start an exciting new project or enjoy a charming date. Use your charisma to connect with others and create meaningful interactions wherever you go. Keep your eye out for that. When you see that number, get present. Get present. What's going on around you? What do you see? What were you listening to? What were you thinking? Keep that all in your mind because those are your little intuitive nudges. That's what starts to take you to your next possible step. Where's the other one? Right here. These are some affirmations. Let me have a couple affirmations. I'll shuffle one more time. Positive thinking, faith, one step at a time. Yeah, it's not about that leap, that jump right in, that dive right in. It's not about doing all the steps at once. It's understanding that when you take, the universe will follow. Okay, when you take each step. Wisdom, being true, one step at a time, positive thinking, and faith. We'll start with this one. God has a plan for me. I live here now, knowing beauty is to come. I don't force things to happen faster than the universe has decided for me. I learn from my experiences, take small steps in faith, and succeed thanks to all my efforts. Being true. I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with the power of love and truth. One step at a time. I see the mountain ahead and dedicate myself to taking one small step at a time. I make progress by staying focused on the present moment, the current task. Thus, I regain my ease of living. Positive thinking. My life is full of small patches of light. I direct my thoughts to that which brings me well-being. I place what is weighty for me into the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens my being, and I find serenity. Welcome, Tammy. And now, and then faith. I am confident I will achieve my goals. I live in the present and have faith in the future. I firmly believe in my value within the universe. When you have faith and you trust those nudges and you listen, you understand when you have to be wild, when you have to dig a little deeper, and when you have to find that peace, right? There's a time to fight, there's a time to be peaceful. And not fight, I don't mean war, but there's a time to fight for the things you want, and there's times to do that you've done all you can, and then you let it go. You let the universe show up and do what it does. And I got a couple more of these. One. All All right, we have, I'm willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. Compassion is my compass. I'm willing to hold space for the experience of others. I celebrate all the greatness in my life. When I move my body, I feel empowered, cleansed, and strong. Trust those nudges. Just trust them. Understand when you learn to find that balance, you get it. You're aligned, right? So all of that energy, instead of being all scattered everywhere else, it becomes focused and it propels you directly up the hill. Let me be still today and listen to the truth in silence. And it's not about being physically still. It's about quieting your mind, not letting the anxiety, any of those things, the negative thinking, don't let it block you. And understand that you've already taken the leap. You've been doing it, and it's one step at a time. Enjoy the fresh air. Gather with friends. Keep your eye out. You start seeing this number all over the place. That's what it means. What are you thinking? Those are your little intuitive nudges. Be creative and understand that nothing comes without risk. But you know how to take that risk properly. You're not risking your whole life. You're taking a step towards that. You're not jumping out, quitting your job. It's just taking that one step. Just leap. You can do it. And I think that's what I have for my Leos. I'll be back on maybe in another 5 or 10 minutes for Scorpio. So we got 0550. Trust the nudge and find that balance between your wildness and your peace. Affirm your greatness no matter what. Always affirm your greatness. And find a practical plan. It doesn't mean you have to have the whole thing planned out. It just means, how do I get to this next step? Or what's the end result, and work your way back. You're already doing it. Don't pressure yourself. Don't set your expectations way up here. We want to get there. So how are we going to get there? Don't think that this is maintainable 24/7. We just need to know the actual steps to get there. And I think you guys are doing really well. And just keep doing what you're doing. Find that balance, and make sure you show up with love for yourself. And keep looking inward. Search inward. Find that balance within, because once you're balanced within, you're definitely going to be balanced outside. I will be back in about 5 minutes for Scorpio. I love you guys, my Leos. Have a good day.